One of the examples that we have right now on our screen is a show reel from our friends at Milford Animation. Our friends at Milford Animation are using our storage systems to process the data that they generate for post-processing visual effects. As you can see from some of the show reel, there's quite a bit of computational requirements associated with rendering, and there's a huge amount of storage. Each operation, each post-production job could potentially generate tens to hundreds of terabytes for an individual company or an individual client, and these folks need to not just be able to operate on that data, they need to be able to pull it off, they need to put it on as rapidly as they can, and there's elements of very high performance streaming I/O as well as elements of caching and intelligent caching associated with this. And so we do quite a bit with them. There's also another very nice show reel on our other monitor from our friends over at Important Looking Pirates. This is an extremely nice show reel. These folks have generated some commercials in a hurry for the folks at the National Football League, among others, and you can see, for example, they like some very flashy visual effects. Those visual effects come at an incredible storage cost. You have to do a tremendous amount of rendering and post-processing. And so this organization is also one of our customers. They're using our storage to provide that type of capability. We can sync and source up to 5 gigabytes a second from the units that they have. In the configurations they have, it's a little bit lower, but it's designed specifically to their use case. So they're able to sync and source of about 3.5 gigabytes a second for their operations, which is sufficient for their many elements of tuning in the kernel itself. We typically use a Linux kernel and a Linux operating system, but we tune the kernels, we tune our drivers very, very hard. We make specific changes in the kernel, and we have specific design changes within the RAID units and the firmwares and whatnot else that allow us to achieve very high performance on extremely large data sets that many of our competitors simply are not capable of doing with the hardware that they have, without either replicating the work that we've done or engaging us to perform that sort of work. And the types of benchmarks that we do, we typically test with real end-user cases, and these end-user cases are what our customers tell us they are in fact using. We don't try to show test cases which will simply say write zeros to all of our disks and use that as a benchmark. That's not a benchmark. What our customers do, those are benchmarks. What they do on a day-to-day basis, when they really beat on their systems, when they really work very hard to make their systems go fast, that is what we do to test our systems with their use cases. And for our friends in financial services, for our friends in the media and other operations, for our friends in next generation sequencing, much of it is about the streaming performance, but quite a bit of it is also about the caching performance.